one thing that you run out of most quickly in your house? Because, like...
Patience. The will to live.
A physical item that you have to purchase.
Like you actually have to make a trip to go and get most often? Mouthwash.
Oh, that's a good question.
Ketzel?
Seltzer.
Seltzies, but of course.
Soft seltzers, oddly enough.
But of course.
But of course.
I go through I pound 3 cans a day, so I go through them rather quickly.
Damn, buddy, that's a lot.
I have a problem.
I don't want.
You can't just drink regular water. You know that, right?
Yeah, no.
Well, I want to dissect both of these right here, right now. You first, and then you.
Okay. We all scream stuff at the same time, but she wants to go one by
your
one. So you go first.
I was like, you can drink regular water, right?
But it doesn't hit the same way.
But
though.
It's not as exciting.
It's not as
not
spicy. Yeah. And I do drink regular water, but
water.
That's okay. I drink that when I'm working, and then I get home and I'm like, time for the fun drinks, time for the fun water.
Usually I just drink alcohol or a soda.
And what did you say, Sky?
I said I don't want any seltzers unless they have alcohol in them.
I mean,
That's a
true.
lie.
That's
fair.
my most favorite carbonated
We had
type of
strawberry
beverage.
bubbly in the house for a minute.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can buy on Amazon Fresh shopping. They won't let me
It's
buy
also
soda.
it's the best seltzer.
Bubbly?
It's bubbly, specifically strawberry bubbly.
Yeah, that's the only seltzer I will drink without alcohol, I guess. But most of the
Bubbly.
time,
I like
I prefer
any seltzer.
alcohol in my
Bubbly,
seltzer.
the brand where Michael Bublé is writing his name over the bubbly.
Yeah, that one.
I guess.
I'll take a pass. Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
And I'm Ketzel. And we're just 4 really, really ridiculous, good-looking models who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today we're watching a movie that had us all wondering what the hell an orange mocha frappuccino tastes like. Zoolander, released in 2001, directed by Ben Stiller. And today's loser is...
It's me. I thought someone was going to say my name. I'm so sorry. It's me. I'm the loser.
It's a me.
It's a me. Antonio.
Hey, you love a complicated drink. Would you eat an orange mocha frappuccino?
Orange and mocha do not sound like they go together. Orange and chocolate I'm okay with, but it's once the coffee was introduced, which is what mocha would be, I'm like, no. Like an orange chocolate frappuccino, I could totally be behind that. But mocha, no.
That's the complicated answer I expected. Go on.
I'm like, yeah, I was about to argue. I'm like, but chocolate and orange do be good.
Mm-hmm.
A little citrus.
Oh my god, what's that name of that? The orange that you whack, and it's the chocolate orange. I mean, I know it's a chocolate orange, but I mean.
Oh, I don't know the name of that treat.
Oh my god,
I don't know what this is.
I think it's a very English thing, or British thing. I know there's a more specific name, but it's a chocolate orange. I know that those exist. I used to eat them every once in a while.
Your little English boy when you were in your little boarding school in England.
Man, I wish.
Send us a postcard. But why did we pick this movie?
Because we love making Antonio watch comedy movies.
Oh, I love that shit. I'm going to be looking at you like this.
And I'm probably going to sit here at the end and be like, yeah, I'm just here because I was told to watch this.
Well, you're a crapshoot, though, because as Sky has mentioned in a previous episode, you surprise us sometimes and actually end up liking the weirdest shit. So who fucking knows how this will turn out?
I don't know. Zoolander is one of those ones where I think I've seen parts of it and I'm just like, no appeal. No gimmick.
I don't know. I think he'll
But
like
he's
it.
funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's funny.
Is he
no?
secondhand embarrassment funny?
No, he's just funny.
That's for you to tell
All right.
us later.
I can't remember, so
can't
I'm going to be quiet.
I can't read.
But anyway, Zoolander is so funny, and it has a lot of cameos in it. So many it's a star-studded cast, truly. You're going to see so many familiar faces.
And it's very quotable.
Oh my god.
Tony's like, I don't know how to listen.
I don't know how to
Exist.
approach this.
I'm so excited with how vaguely uncomfortable you are.
I'm like, okay, so what I do know about this movie, aside from like Ben Stiller being in it, is I know I don't really like Ben Stiller that much.
Well, I have some bad news for you.
Why?
I don't know. I don't remember why. I'm sure there was some movie or another where I watched him and I was like,
Was it Zoolander?
I don't. If it was, then that's a repressed memory. Oops.
You know what? We discover these as we go along, so
We
I wouldn't
do.
be surprised.
You're like, it's all coming back to me.
Get me out of here! I gotta
Coming
leave.
back to me. You just have some people just have a
Is it Meet
rational
the
hatred of
Fockers?
people.
No, I don't know how I felt about Meet the Fockers.
I like
but,
Meet the Parents.
I've never
Meet the
seen
Parents
either
same,
of those.
same thing.
That's the
same
first
thing.
one. Meet the Fockers, I think, is the second one.
Yes.
Why the fuck did I watch the second one? I don't even know if I watched the first.
I think you'd like the first. Well, maybe not, because you don't like secondhand embarrassing.
I don't. We have lots of like discussions about how I feel about certain things.
You know, it's
Like
funny.
Elf.
It's funny because, Ben
Yeah.
Stiller, as much as you don't like him, we have seen movies already in our podcast episodes that are attached to Ben Stiller.
As
And-
like behind the scenes.
Well, no, like, his wife, we had seen her before in The Wedding Singer. And then
Oh, yeah,
in the
she-
next movie, Hairspray, that his dad's in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's his dad.
His dad's funny.
His dad
That's
is
Mr.
funny from
Pinky.
Seinfeld.
Mr. B.
His dad is funny from Seinfeld. I liked Seinfeld.
Well, then you'll like his son.
You
Okay.
know,
That
sometimes
look,
the apple
that
do
look
fall
right
from that
there.
tree.
Okay. That look right. Oh,
You know, I like lots of people's dads, but them kids.
Can I say something, though? I actually, when I was writing this outline, I didn't know he directed Zoolander.
I didn't either until I saw your outline.
Yeah, I didn't know he directed this. He directed another movie I had watched called Reality Bites that he was also in. I just didn't know he directed things.
He did stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah,
You
I
know
was
what?
like,
I always thought
that's interesting.
that he is one of those people that does like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and then when he actually gets in front of the camera, I'm like,
Do you?
he's
do
a
you
comedian. Damn it.
Do you like Night at the Museum?
That's what I was trying to reach around to. I do like
ahead and reach
Night at the
around.
Museum. I do like
I love
that.
Night at the Museum.
That's different. That's like a family movie, and it's done really well. I just like that. I think
But
and
not Ben
it's
Stiller.
not so much.
Hey, is it Dodgeball?
Yes, thank you.
Is it Dodgeball
Oh, that could be it.
that you didn't like him in?
That could definitely be it. I actually don't care for dodgeball that much. I don't think.
Did you ever watch Happy Gilmore? That's the
was-
golfing
I've
one with Adam
definitely
Sandler.
Probably been in the room.
Ben Stiller and
I've
him
definitely
are friendies.
probably in the room. I
And
mean,
he
I
was-
know that I know it exists.
He was a bad guy in that
he,
movie.
he was the nerd.
He was the evil nurse.
No, I don't know about like growing up when he came into my life and when I wanted
Ben-
out of it.
When Benjamin came into my life.
Wow. I don't know why. Like
You
the sound.
You know they're trouble when they walk in, and you're just like, no.
I knew you were.
I knew you were Ben when you walked in.
But yeah. So I mean, I think I've said this before. I don't watch comedy movies. I don't
Yeah.
actively do it anymore unless there's just like any other thing needs to have a gimmick. Like you were recently rewatching like Rush Hour, and I was like, I'd watch Rush Hour again. In fact, I think for a while there I contemplated it. I just didn't get around to sitting there and be like, oh, let's watch Rush Hours 1 through 3.
I think it probably depends on the type of comedy for you.
Like it needs a gimmick.
Are you friends with us for a gimmick?
Huh?
I don't know. I would like to be pleasantly surprised, but honestly, I feel like this is one of those movies where it has like one of the things I hate about most comedy is like child-minded adults or child mindset adults, and I feel like Zoolander pitches right into that, and I'm just like,
You do hate that. That's why you hate Elf.
I hate it. I despise it. I'm like,
Because you hate
anytime-
whimsy. It's not that. Just you hate whimsy.
No, I
and
like
joy.
whimsy. I have a very different idea of what whimsy is. Whimsy is Moriarty from Sherlock. That's whimsy.
That's not whimsy, my friend.
I don't think
That's
that's whimsy
That
at
is
all.
not whimsy.
That is.
What's that?
Then you don't know. I don't think you know the concept of whimsy.
Elf is whimsy. His character in Elf is whimsy. Moriarty from Sherlock is just your fucking boner, dude. Like, that's why you like him.
Boner alert.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, the score for this film.
Thank you, Ketzel. I was
Thank
literally
you.
about to go into that.
I got you. So the Rotten Tomato score is 64%, audience is 80, Google is 83, which shows that people liked it a lot more than the critics did.
Anyway, so the actors.
Les actors.
We got Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Christine Taylor, who is
His lad.
I think, aren't they divorced though now?
I don't know.
Okay, well, they were married at one point.
They were.
And then Mila Jovovich.
Who you like?
Who I love.
I do enjoy
doesn't
Mila
love her?
Jovovich. I think that she has she's like the what's his name? Nathan Fillion of movies.
Oh,
Wow.
Bad touch. I mean, the Resident Evil series, watched every single one of them with her in it. I did because, you know, once you go down that rabbit
'Cause
hole
you're
once, you
gay.
just got to see it to the end.
We all
But
did.
like it's not a great series. It's not critically acclaimed by any means.
No.
no.
I can think of a couple of other things where she
No.
was in, and I was like, eeks.
Wait, are you saying that as a drag?
As an unfortunate, like,
As an observation.
You know.
Like an Army Hammer moment where they're trying to force this person on us?
No.
not even that. That's not even my problem. I just think, when she's chosen for something or she chooses something,
It's not good.
it does not get executed as
B
well.
movie.
It's a
Yeah.
meme
Yes.
movie. The only movie that I think I've ever seen her in where it wasn't so meme-like, and it might actually be, is like A Perfect Getaway.
Okay, I just wanted to ask because I'm like, I don't really watch any films with
I like
Nathan
her.
Fillion
I
in
really
it,
liked the
so
first
I'm like,
Resident
I
Evil.
can't make that parallel. So I get it now. She's a B movie actress.
Yes.
She's great though.
The B
I like
movie.
That's
her.
what's sad.
And I like watching her. Like, I
Stop
watched the
it.
Monster Hunter movie. I'm trying to think if what movie was she like good in? Does anyone know?
Resident Evil.
The first one she was amazing in, but I mean, like, after that. But I do. But sad is actually the first one isn't even my
She
favorite.
also in The Fourth Kind.
That's also like a meme movie. It's like a.
How is it a meme movie?
Are you saying? Are you guys saying B movie or
I'm saying
meme movie?
Like you would make fun of the fourth kind.
He's saying meme. She's saying B. I'm saying
And they're the
B
same
movie.
thing.
I'm saying B movie. Seinfeld.
Oh.
Buzz-
Oh, so you're saying B, which is a meme movie and a B movie?
All in one.
Wow.
Da,
Look
da,
at you.
da, da. We
That's-
gotta go.
that's art.
We gotta go.
Okay.
That's art.
All right, Antonio.
That is hard.
Do you have any expectations at all for this movie?
I feel like I'm not gonna like it.
Ooh.
I feel like you're setting it up for that.
Yeah.
I think I know what I
I think
like.
you've already made up your mind.
I think I've made up my mind about lots of things in my life, and I'm usually not wrong about what I like.
Okay.
I hope you're
All right.
wrong.
Me too.
I hope so too.
For all our
We'll
sake.
come back and find out.
I don't think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna stick with that.
And here's the
I think
thing:
I'm
if
gonna
you don't
sit
like
here-
it, it's still fucking hilarious for us.
Yeah, we don't care. But I think you're not gonna like it. I think you've
Drag
made
the
up your mind.
girl. Drag her.
Not kiss the girl.
Drag the girl.
Drag.
Drag her to hell.
Shalala.
And on that note, bye.
Relax.
Don't do it.
So we're back from watching Zoolander. Hold the applause.
Woo!
How are we all feeling?
Antonio, go first. So did you like this movie overall? Just
Overall, it's all right. It's all right. Like, that's it. I could have gone my entire life without watching it.
I disagree, but let's go over the whole movie.
You couldn't be more wrong, but let's go. We start with fucking William Ferrell, don't we? Before we even get to Derek Zoolander.
We absolutely do.
And the Malaysian Prime Minister?
The Malaysian
Yeah.
Prime Minister and the evil syndicate that was never unmasked.
Right. So basically the prime minister's like, y'all children is free. and we're gonna live happy lives now. And everyone's like, yay! But the syndicate's like, no. Child labor laws are terrible. We want slave labor, which is terrible. Like, it's crazy how they tie this into fashion, but this is how they set it up. They tee it up. And guess who's in the syndicate as their lackey? Mugatu, which is William Ferrell. Will Ferrell.
And it is one of his greatest roles yet, to be quite honest. Carries this film, I think. Everything he said is amazing.
A true star.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to find a brainless person to assassinate the Malaysian prime minister so that they can continue their, work with slave labor. Child labor. Which
Child
is
labor
very,
specifically.
Yeah, which is a very real fashion topic.
I think
that is still relevant now.
Yeah, this movie, like watching this movie now as like an adult, it's very much a parody on the fashion industry. I mean, some of the things that you were like, eek, and I was like, well, they're kind of pointing all of that out, during this movie as much as
one of the things that they're talking about. It really is just a parody for like how people really are. Like male models are really that dumb. Male bodies are really that dumb.
Also, like the what's the word? Like the performative charity, it's like, I care about this, but it's like, you really don't,
right? Like trying to mask the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to be nice, but
I really don't care about this.
It was
I
just
want
such
my
an
image to look
enriching
good
experience just to think about it.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, this movie is such a parody. I mean, it's very funny, but it does point out a lot of
Actual
real
issues
terrible
with the
things.
fashion
Yeah.
world.
Especially with like fast fashion. I made a point of that as like right
Ooh,
now. The
I
big,
hate fast fashion.
Remember?
Yeah,
I've always
it's
hated
about
fast
fashion and sustainability.
Like nowadays, even I like swerve away from like even looking at H&M nowadays.
I know.
And when anyone talks about things like Shein or Fashion Nova or anything else that's just kind of like super cheap, I kind of get really annoyed about it. But there have been some like points where I like buy something super cheap and I actually really do like the way it came out. Like the pair of shorts that I lost in California, it was literally just Amazon brand shorts.
Yeah, I will say like it's tough because also part of like why I gravitated to fast fashion for a while was because they just don't make stuff my size. And for some reason fast fashion got on it very quickly in ways that like you have like Victoria's Secret and stuff that still doesn't. They have other brands that still don't do it. And like I'm try to buy sustainably, but that shit is expensive. So
it is.
It is, but it's also
it's
a
not even
long-term
fast fashion for you. It's more just like accessible fashion.
Yeah, it's a long-term
yeah.
purchase to shop sustainably, but you're right, yeah. And I think they made a very big point about like skinty models in this movie. So.
Oh yeah.
Wow. But
this is a fucking cerebral movie.
You would because it is like it's funny like watching it and thinking like it's just a dumb comedy, but when they do point out stuff like that and when you reacted the way you did, I was like, well, that's because they're pointing it out,
Boo.
I just think
There's
it's
also
funny.
a dumb. It's a dumb
Very
comedy.
funny that this is more aware of like stuff than the general people that are watching it are aware.
Guys, you thought
Yeah.
you were walking into a comedy. You're walking into a cerebral film.
This
Oh,
is a
but there's,
political
Like
commentary.
Eraserhead.
This is a political commentary on the sustainability of fashion and the intellect of the fashion model industry.
Oh my god, work, bitch.
Learn.
So that's how we start off. And they need someone so stupid that they can mold into this assassin that will kill the Malaysian prime minister. And then that takes us to NYC.
With Derek Zoolander, who fits the bill quite well, and that is very evident from the first 5 seconds you see this buffoon. This model parody of a model who just says the stupidest fucking shit. Everything he says is quotable. Played by Benjamin Stiller.
Is it Benjamin?
It can be.
I'm gonna live that way. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like this like montage of like all these famous people saying like, "Oh, Derek Zoolander, he just changed the game." Like just a bunch of just cameos of like big time stars at the time.
And Donald Trump, who's not a big time
Which
star.
Oop.
jarring, does not age well.
That really
But
doesn't
it's
age
of the
well
era.
with any of the things that could have happened in this like movie, just like the weird things. And it was like, oops, Donald Trump was in
Yeah.
this movie, and they definitely showed a butt grabbing scene. Like,
Butt grabbing
not
scene,
great.
blackface.
Did not age well in some areas. Woof. But we see
But
Donald
we can
Trump.
definitely. Yeah.
But I think that was also, like I was saying before, I think that was also pointing out the things that the fashion industry is doing wrong.
yeah.
Not the
Donald blackface.
Donald Trump thing. He's just
That
He
was
was
wrong.
just supposed to be a
just
cameo.
a stain on
Look-
anything he's in ever. But this is also on the red carpet where we're introduced to his arch nemesis, who's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now.
How many
Hansel.
times did he say-
Hansel.
Hansel, who is played by Owen Wilson. Which I gotta know right now. We're gonna go over this right now. How do you guys feel about Owen Wilson?
I wrote this too, baby. I wrote this too.
Can I just say I think he's kind of hot.
In this movie,
Sorry.
yes, the nose always gets me, but we can't get away from that. And you know, it's because he did it in a very sporty way. That's why his nose is the way that it is. But he was really attractive in this movie. But I did not like his persona because I don't like the douchey
his
bra.
persona.
The douchey
You
bra
s-
persona.
Get out right now.
Brah.
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 What do
Antonio.
you think?
Yeah.
Would you smash?
Yeah. I've seen Owen Wilson in a number of things. So like the weirder things too. He did crazily enough, I think like the most like serious role I want to say he ever did was a this movie called No Escape, I think it was called.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Because the Dowdle brothers, is it the Dowdle brothers? The Dowdle brothers,
Brothers.
the Dowdle brothers
Brava.
of Poughkeepsie Tapes fame.
Yeah, I know. When you said the name, I was like,
Wow. Yeah, I saw your face go.
What else did they
Oh,
do? Did they
no.
do As Above, So Below, or did they do Devil?
They did.
Like Devil is really good because I know there's a good name that I like.
Was it Yumi and Dupree?
No.
Get out of here.
No,
Keep
no,
it
no, no.
tight, dude.
But anyway,
no,
so
No
like
Escape is like, I know what you're talking about because I remember seeing that trailer and I was like, Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Oh, Waninsa Wilson?
Yeah, that one's also like, oof. That one's a anxiety-ridden movie.
Yeah, that one's like kind of an intense one. It's not really a horror movie, but it's definitely like a thriller.
But what
the
about
very-
Ben Stiller, the director of this movie?
Okay, and okay,
I'm so
No,
sorry.
I
Going back to
haven't
Owen
talked
Wilson,
about
he's
Owen.
hot. I liked his work in No Escape and this. You know, I really like the character development in this movie, and Owen Wilson can get it.
Katzel.
I don't like Owen Wilson, mostly because I
'Cause
want to get to Luke.
you-
I want to get to Luke Wilson.
Is he alive?
Ooh. Of course he's
He
alive.
is
Oh my god.
Why trying to kill him and Rob Lowe?
That's right. You were no longer with them.
Who is no longer with us.
No,
I'm trying to get
someone
to
else
Luke
said that, and
Wilson.
I was like, wait, what? Did he die?
I did too. That's why I was like, guys.
We said rip to Rob Lowe on West Wing because he left too soon.
I
and
know.
me and Antonio were like,
wait, did
what?
he die?
what?
Antonio said rip to Luke Wilson. No, Luke Wilson's very much alive, and I want to fuck him.
Okay, I would happily fuck both.
Though I will say, this was the most not. This was the least repulsed I've been by Owen Wilson. Was this movie? Was Zoolander? I will say. I was like,
That's
okay.
the least repulsed.
Yes.
I liked him in Loki.
I
think
said
it was
what
like
I said.
the gray hair though.
But anyway, what happens? We understand.
Model of the year.
Yes, we understand that Derek Zoolander is up for Model of the Year, as is his arch nemesis, Hansel. I say Hansel, but he says Hansel, so I'm like, But anyway, they go up against each other. The reporter is there again. She's trying to get the scoop because Mugatu is there again, and of course we know that he's having some, troubles overseas. And so Lenny Kravitz, makes a surprise appearance as the person who calls the winner, and it's Hansel. And Derek, like an idiot, walks up to the fucking stage like blue steel, a full glory, and then he's like, I'm so happy to accept this award. And then Lenny is like the biggest hero ever. He's like, Derek, no.
It ain't you. It ain't you.
Look behind you, man. Read the room.
It would have been less embarrassing had he peed himself.
I got flashbacks to Star is Born 2 when that happened. I was like,
Yeah.
trauma works that way, huh?
I don't want no trauma. No trauma.
And so anyway, Derek does not win. He's sad and upset. He goes home and he chats with his roommates, of which there's a cameo for Alexander Skarsgård.
Also,
Who's a twink?
Can we talk about the
He's
names
so
too?
stingy. Mikas and Brent.
Brent.
Mikas.
I kept hearing
Brent,
Brent,
what was
and
the
I
other
was
one?
like,
Rufus.
Clint.
Rufus had the most normal name.
But I kept hearing, like, I thought it was Clint, and then I was like reading the subtitles. I was like, Brent.
No, dude, it's Brent.
I know.
No, bro.
Oh,
Oh, Mikas.
Who was Brent played by? Was he famous? Or was
I
he
don't know,
just a
but
I
random-
think it was just Skarsgård was
Scar-
the famous
everyone
roommate.
was hot except for Scar. They were all hot except for fucking.
They were all hot
Stiller.
except for Ben Stiller.
TBH. So,
That's when I said, "Oh man, I really hate Ben Stiller."
Poor Ben
oh
Stiller.
yikes! Hey, in a
You're
room
ruining
full of
the
those
shot.
guys, yeah, in
Get
a
out of
room
the
full
shot.
guys, you could not stand up to all those guys. But anyway, his friends are like, "Man, don't worry about it." And he's like, there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking, which is like so quotable. I thought it was so funny. And he's down in the dumps. He's like, I just want to do something more. And so his friends are like, let's go get some orange mocha frappuccinos.
Which sounds absolutely disgusting.
I
As
would
we
not have
discussed
it.
prior.
So just like
What would be our equivalent?
our
Of
equivalent,
like our pick,
Antoni,
our
I know
pick-me-up?
Antonio's
An
is salted
Americano.
mocha frappuccino.
salted caramel mocha frappuccino.
Oh,
Green
whoops, I
tea
forgot the
frappuccino
caramel.
with peppermint pump.
Oh my god, yeah, that's actually
We're
more
going too off the rails.
Okay. By the way, you should totally have those.
like- those are both great drinks. Just really sucks that this year there's no salted caramel mocha frappuccino.
Wah, wah, wah. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Last Christmas season.
Starbucks sponsor us.
Oh shit.
So they go take Derek out. They get their orange mocha frappuccinos, which look like smoothies, TBH, but they
They
go
look
fill it.
fucking
do.
watery.
They do look watery.
Can we all just take a second and laugh at that one?
Very, very watery.
No.
They looked really fucking watery.
They sure did.
But
I
they're
hate you guys.
Don't say stupid
Love
shit.
you.
Say stupid shit, win stupid prizes.
but but yeah, they have their orange mocha frappuccinos. They're having a blast. Wham is playing.
Oh, that's right.
What is it called?
Wake me up before you go.
But yeah, so everything's happy. They're having a good time. But then they need gas, so they stop at a gas station.
They clean the windows first, so they use the windshield window cleaner, and they're
And-
like, tee.
And because they are male models and they're not very smart, they're of course like just throwing water at each other and like tee, kind of like a pillow fight, but like with water
Yes,
and like the
yes.
windshield
Really
wiper
masked
things.
pillow
It was
fight.
very cinematic. I like the cinnamon
those,
toast crunch of that.
Those fucking Carl's Jr. commercials of the old times.
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
Was it
and
Paris
Jessica Simpson?
Yes.
I think they both did.
Both did
it. They
fast
both
food.
And yet when I do it, I don't get paid for it.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked
Where's
up.
my money?
But anyway, so they're all like teeing with like water and they're like getting gas, but they're having fun about it. And Derek kind of steps away and he sees, because the reporter, whose name is Matilda, was interviewing him for a Times article, and it came out and it kind of made him look like a dumbass, which
Yeah.
he
That's
is.
right.
The material.
But he sees someone reading a Times magazine and they end up throwing it away, and I think he picks it up.
He does. He walks
goes
over
to
to
look
the
at it.
garbage, picks it up, and reads it.
Realizes that it makes him out to be an idiot, which once again he is, but he thought it was going to be something else. And then as he looks back, his friends are now using the fucking
Gasoline hoses and
gasoline
just spraying
hoses
each other
to
with
spray
gas.
each other like tee hee hee hee. And then one of the friends pulls out a cigarette and then goes to light it, and Derek's like, no, and it's all slow motion and it fucking blows up, obviously.
Co-produced by Michael Bay.
Yeah, basically a scene straight out of a Transformers movie.
Truly.
And then a funeral.
It's so sad. Like, obviously,
So sad.
surprisingly, they were more dumb than Derek to die. So they all died, all three of them,
Yeah,
in
'cause
that
they were
freak
hotter.
explosion.
Which
So-
is how we would go, like I said during the movie.
at this point, and
So
they have
the three
funeral.
hottest of us dies. Who's the person who has to speak our
You
eugooglies?
googly.
Googly.
It's not me.
I know. It's between you and me. It's probably me.
Damn, it really is Antonio.
I'm pretty sure it's me. I'm pretty sure I'm the one who survives. Oh shit, I am fucking
No,
Derek.
I think I survived.
I think we talked about this. Sometimes he talks and I was just like, fuck, is that me?
Oh, because you you take a while to get to the point, and we're all like,
Is that you?
It is me. I think it is.
I think sometimes he just takes the long way to get to a conversation, like to a sentence in a
You
conversation.
mean a David Lynch? Hmm?
No.
No.
Take a long time to get to the
How's
point.
that for long? No.
Anytime I hear David Lynch, I'm like, it flashes me back to Eraserhead. And
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
I'm like, nothing else matters.
I don't have to go back there.
Can I just make a point right now to say that I watched Eraserhead and then I was rewatching some flashbacks or trailer of the Twin Peaks reboot, and there's so much adapted from that movie into the reboot. It's amazing. Anyway,
Disgusting. Next.
back to it. At the You
All right.
Googly.
You're allowed that once per episode.
Once per month.
No. Once per episode.
Once
We-
per
we bring
episode,
up-
we bring up your
Jan-
guys' things.
We do. We bring up Country Bears. We bring up Sinister. We bring up Antonio's nasty movie of the month.
Hold
You're
on.
allowed to
I
bring
think-
up David
I
Lynch.
think
I
we've done a
think
pretty
mine-
good job of not bringing that up in a while.
Mine is pretty fair
Well, I
because
just did.
there are 3 people who were in the Twin Peaks, like in that series, in this movie. So
All right, wait until that
mic
actually
drop.
happens before you start talking about Twin Peaks.
don't drag me.
Okay.
Talk about the You Googly.
The Ugoogly. So during the Ugoogly that he's trying to get out, Hansel comes up and ruins the whole shindig, and he's trying to announce his retirement. And so he's trying to drop this bombshell, tries to get overshadowed, but still drops it, and then leaves and has a confrontation with Matilda.
Yes. And then we go to Derek's agent, who is Maury Ballstein.
Played by who?
Played by his Dutty.
Daddy!
What's his name?
Jerry Stiller.
Jerry
Jerry
Stiller.
Stiller.
And Ballstein is secretly working with Mugatu,
Yes.
trying to find a male model that they can shape and mold into an assassin.
Yes. What happens is that he doesn't want to be in on it, and he's like, Mugatu, no, like he can't do it. And then at that point, after he has that run-in with Matilda, he's just like, I got to get back to my roots. I got to go home. So he goes home and he's not even in the picture anymore. And so his Ballstein's like, well, he's not even here to Mugatu, and he's like, get him back because we need him for it. And then at this point, we are flashed to southern New Jersey.
The coal mines,
The coal
The
pits.
appellation.
which is my favorite part.
And fucking Derek
Welcome to District
Zoolander.
12.
Yeah, literally. He works
Nice.
one day in the mines with his daddy and his 2 brothers, and he's just like not having it. He's
Which-
dead.
He's
One
not-
of the brothers is Vince Vaughn.
Can you believe?
Not even
I
a
was like-
speaking role. Not even a
No,
speaking role.
he's
I was
just
like,
there.
what?
I love him, but he tries to work in the mines with his daddy and his brothers, trying to find his roots, and he just does not fit in. Obviously,
Clearly,
He's
because
too
he's a
fabulous.
capital.
Mama, that's too much. He's too
Oh,
much.
that's too
Mama.
much. Mama, that's too much.
So they're like, go home. And then he looks up into the sky. He's just like, where am I meant to be? And he gets a call.
Guys, this is a Hunger Games movie. It's cutthroat with kids. Like, there's kids laboring. You know, you got wild fashion for the capital. There's coal pits for District 12. You know, it's all
That's a
political
hot
commentary.
That's a hot
That's a
take.
hot
but
take
where
on
is Stanley
And-
Tucci?
And,
Where is the Tooch? Lenny
and
Kravitz
there's
is
mind
in
control.
Stop that right now.
There's mind control.
Anyway, he gets a call. Who's
He gets a
it
call.
from?
Not from God. It's from Ballstein. Ballstein's like, get your ass back here. I got a job for you. So that's
You
how
wanna
he
be a
goes
star.
back. Yeah, you want to be a star, don't you? Get your ass back to New York. So he goes, and he's like, okay, cool. You never hired me before Mugatu. What's the deal? And he's just like, well, now that I couldn't have you, I just had to have you. And wow. Like, I don't know, just Will Ferrell, his acting.
He put his whole pussy into this role.
His whole pussy. 120% of his pussy in this fucking
Does he
role.
ever not though?
That's T.
That's true. He really does
Like,
put his all
You know,
into
as
any
much
role.
as honestly, you know, I hate that movie we talked about earlier.
Elf.
Yeah, I hate that. But he does put his all into that too, and you know, I respect that, but I hate that.
Yeah, he's a respectable
Will
actor.
Ferrell is definitely someone who puts everything into every role.
His pussy game is stepped up.
Always.
But he has Derek come and like he's like, let me show you what I can offer
That was a
you.
weird juxtaposition of words.
Sorry. Okay, he has Derek come meet him. Is that better?
A little, yeah. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. And he's like, let me show you what I can do for you. And he has the model of, which we should have mentioned earlier, Derek wants to help the people. What kind of people? I don't know, people that need help.
The kids that can't read well or
Kids
read
who
good.
can't
Read good.
So he wants
Can't
to open up a center.
Oh man, okay. Talk about that.
So he unveils a tiny model of the Derek
Stupid.
Zoolander Institute for kids who can't read good.
And Derek is like, huh. And then he's like, he picks it up and throws it on the ground. Your favorite song from
Threw
the
it on the ground.
On the ground.
It's not my favorite, but it's a good one.
a good one. And he's just like, what is this? A center for ants? Which is one of the most quotable quotes of this movie. Like,
I didn't know that this is where it was from.
yes.
Really?
Oh, you've heard
No.
it. You've heard it.
I've heard.
Yeah, it was
'cause
a
I'm on the
thing. It was a
internet.
meme.
Oh, wow.
That's a meme. And honestly, the picture that they usually use for what is this? A blah 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 for ants. That is not a Zoolander. A picture that they use.
Look at
No,
him.
they
He
use it
knew.
for anything.
That's amazing. I love that you knew that. It is from this movie. This is where it originated.
Come
Because
on,
Derek
I'm
is.
on Reddit.
he-
No, this would have been Imgur back when I was on Imgur.
Yes, Queen. For that
Yes,
relic.
Queen.
That
work.
relic.
Now that they got that out of the way, Mugatu's like, let me show you my vision. And he shows him the show that he wants Derek to be a part of. Which, once again, is very problematic.
Yep.
Because it's all about the homeless. But once again, it's very much... why can't I think of the word?
Politically incorrect.
No, but it's parroting
Yes.
the fashion industry, where it's like they're
Yeah.
pulling from all of these things that it's like, really though? Do you have to?
And making it
Also-
like art and high fashion.
And hot.
And he's like, this is derelict. Not derelict, derelict. So he's like, you're going to be a star, baby. You're going to be a star. And then he's like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. So he does it. And in turn, he gets to go to a day spa to, get pampered. And it turns out to be a whole fucking week. And surprise, it's a brainwashing facility. And who is he
Ta-da!
taken there by?
The most beautiful creature on earth.
In this movie,
Mila.
Yeah,
Mila Jovovich.
we love her. And she's
And
so
every
fabulous.
look, every
Every
makeup
look.
everything. She was serving it to you on a platter, mama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was delicious.
Okay.
Okay.
So he goes to this quote unquote day spa. Meanwhile, Matilda is researching all of this, and she ends up getting an anonymous call by somebody we don't know yet to go to Pier 12 or something, or wherever the quote unquote day spa
Pier 1
is.
imports.
So
Thank you.
Bed Bath and Beyond. So she goes and she ends up getting in and she finds Derek.
So Matilda realizes that she's in this place. He's getting brainwashed. She gets kicked out. He continues to get brainwashed, and he is now brainwashed to assassinate the Prime Minister of Malaysia to the song. This is his trigger word because he's now a sleeper agent, which is Antonio. This is why I screamed in the middle of the movie.
I love sleeper agents.
I wasn't sure why you screamed, but then when it came, I was like, ah.
The sudden realization, right?
I
I'm
love a
just
good
like,
trigger. I love a good
Antonio
trigger. I'm waiting for
loves-
my trigger.
He was like, I'm just waiting for a sleeper agent movie. And then, you know what, bitch? Here it fucking is. Right here. Right in front of your face. And Relax is by Frankie Goes to Hollywood is the song that triggers him. Isn't that wild?
After he's conditioned, he goes to a pre-show party
Yeah.
and is confronted by Hansel.
Because he's been knocked out for
A week.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
week.
And Matilda
been
tries
knocked
to
out for
warn
a
him,
week,
and he doesn't believe
realistically.
it.
Well, he thinks it's a day because it was a day spa, but it's a
Date,
week.
quote unquote.
Yeah, and Matilda comes to
The pre-show party from the night before. Before the actual fashion show. And he's confronted by Hansel. And they get into it, you know, there's a whole bunch more cameos.
Billy
Billy
Zane's
Zane's
there.
there.
Paris Hilton,
Paris Hilton is there.
Winona Ryder,
Winona Ryder's flirting with God, I can't even think
Zoolander?
of his name. That's what it is. But eventually he's confronted by Hansel, and they decide to do a walk off. Matilda, who is trying to get into the club to warn Derek, sees them walking out, and he's like, "Do you want to see what the real world of male modeling is like?" And they go to an abandoned warehouse.
Which, can I say, it's so funny that this is like the Fight Club of male modeling. Like, it's so funny that it's like this underground thing, and it's like
Down.
underground fighting, but it's underground
Dirty.
male modeling.
Extensive. And then they go. And guess who is the motherfucking MC for this of the walk off? It's motherfucking David Bowie, dude.
My number
David,
one
iconic
Spotify artist of my
motherfucking Bowie.
2021 Wrapped.
I think that's a good
Work.
number one to have.
It's a great
Yeah.
one.
You should
It's
be
the
proud.
number of songs that make it onto my like top like ones, and it's like, ooh,
Er-
I don't listen to that often.
Remember Home Alone? You said your orchestra of music, you'll either listen to Queen or David Bowie when
I
you wake up.
100% would, and I 100% do.
This is planned. Sleeper agent? Question mark? But they do the walk off. They do. And it's like crazy. They're all doing the same moves. Everything is like tit for tat. It's crazy. And then the last move that Hansel has is he pulls his underwear out of his pants
God
without
knows
taking his
I
pants
try
off.
to think about the mechanics. I try to
It
think.
doesn't.
I
no,
literally
it
was
doesn't
like-
work. There's
I'm
no
like, there's no
mechanically,
way.
it does not work.
It just doesn't work. And
It
you know,
does not work. Not without tearing it.
he basically gives himself a wedgie and he loses the walk off. So sad. And he's like feeling defeated and it's just upsetting. But of course, Matilda knows that she has a contact to meet up with, so they go meet up with him in the cemetery of all places. Because tidbit, it turns out that this contact works at the cemetery. We'd seen him earlier in the movie, but didn't realize till now. And it is David Duchovny of the X-Files.
And David Duchovny of X-Files is a hand model.
And a conspiracist.
Well, he's not wrong.
Truly.
Are you a conspiracist if you're correct? He is a historian.
Oh, I'm sorry. A historian.
So they gone over and it basically reveals that the fashion industry has been behind every political assassination basically in history, going back to fucking Abraham Lincoln's assassination. We get some fucking hot ass cameos by Mr. James Marsden.
I was like,
We were like, Daddy? Papa?
Sorry.
Huh? Mr. Marston?
Huh? Mr.
Love him.
Marsden. Come in.
come in, please, sit down.
Right here on my face.
Gotta remove all these chairs so my face is in a place you can sit.
Don't you quote this at me.
Don't you recite the deep magic to me, witch.
Good.
I
God.
was there when it was
written.
So,
I love you.
Ball
anyway, Mugatu's cronies come to the cemetery to like shoot him up, and they do. And David Duchovny gets shot, and his beautiful hand is stepped on by Zoolander, of course, as they make their
Yes.
escape. And it's a lot. It's a fucking lot to process.
Yeah. I do want to explain a little bit more that like the people behind the assassinations have been brainwashed male models this whole time, and that they have been behind it for a long ass time and are killed after doing that. So like Derek Clef's in danger is what we're getting at.
Basically. And after they run away from the shootout, they're trying to figure out a place where they can hide out.
The last place that they would be able to find Derek. Where?
And where do they go? Hansel's house.
Hansel's house. Hansel's warehouse.
I legit thought he was gonna go home. So I was like,
I did too. Oh, because I hadn't seen this in a minute, and I was like, "Oh, does he go back to the mines?" And
I
then
thought- yeah,
like,
I thought he
no,
was
they
going
do
back
go
to the
back.
mines.
They go to. I
They go
keep
to
wanting to
Hansel.
say
I'm still trying to
Hansel, but
figure
it's
out
Hansel.
why the mines were important, because that honestly that part of the movie.
Because Daddy loved him. Get
He
it
wanted
together.
Daddy to accept him.
And he
Daddy.
I don't have
didn't.
that urge.
Me neither, but I mean, we all have daddy issues here. Am I right, fellas? Am I right? You know, when I went to see Lady Gaga at her jazz show, she said 70% of us in this theater have daddy issues, and I was like, Gaga, me.
Gaga, I feel seen.
My paws are in the air.
Put your
But
paws up.
they go to Hansel's warehouse where they're gonna hide out, and after they dish out their differences, Hansel's like, get the fuck in here. And then they have a nice evening of chit-chatting, getting to know each other.
And
Wait,
an orgy.
wait, Pause. Go ahead, sing, Antonio.
Getting to know you. You know that one. I love that one.
I want to say that they resolved their differences by saying, I was whack. No, I was whack. And that's how friendship is formed. A lifelong friendship is formed.
One
Then
day
they
you
have
guys
an
confess
orgy.
you guys are being whack.
I'll never
I am not
confess that
whack.
I'm whack.
Who said we're whack?
Who said that?
You said we're whack.
I'm
Take
not
it
whack.
back.
I love slam poetry. Anyway, so at Hansel's after the orgy, which I'm going to gloss over because I hated it.
Lem.
They think of basically Matilda, Derek, and Hansel think of a plan to try to basically expose her of this assassination attempt, and also to save Derek's life. And they're gonna go do this at Mogatu's fashion show that Derek's supposed to be in. And they're supposed to go and not hack into his office, break into his office.
And
hack into the mainframe.
To Ballstein's office.
Yes.
Yes. Because he's connected to this to find evidence of this.
Right. He's been secretly recording their conversations over the past years. So it's in the computer. But when they hear in the computer, they think it's within the physical computer, not within the files of the turned on computer.
Are we at
Fashion show.
Derek
Fashion
ends up-
show.
We're at the fashion show. I mean, there was the file thing. Did we also go over like the really bad blackface / brownface?
Oh.
No,
And
we
how
did
that was
not.
we did not. So Derek is like, oh, I can throw up a quick disguise. No one will notice us. And
I
So
thought
they
he was
have-
just going to put some fucking lipstick.
right,
and,
I thought it was gonna be like some bad what is it, Little Miss Sunshine?
just a terrible
Little Miss
job
Daisy?
at getting a disguise.
Which one is the one where Robin Williams changes?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Doubtfire.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I've never seen that. Or if I have,
Mrs. You put some respect on that name.
I've never
Gail.
seen it.
I love that movie.
I know it
NQA.
exists, and I know that that's a part of it. So if we ever get around to that, like as part of the episode or part of an episode about that, then I definitely know that it's Robin Williams dressing up. But
As a woman.
In the
as a woman.
Dragoons.
I thought it was gonna be really bad, like costumes, but nope. They like hired completely different actors to make it look like he's a really skilled like makeup artist, and they're people of color.
Not a good look.
Not
No,
great,
did not age well.
fantastic, but the lip sync from Tavon was great.
Oh, he
You
was
were saying-
really good at that.
You were saying that you were very impressed about like the auto lip
He
sync.
made his role on the screen. Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Nailed
for him.
it.
You know,
But
if you're gonna
definitely
do
this-
something bad, do it right.
If you're gonna do something bad, don't do it at all.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that defo does not age well.
I
Of a
think-
couple things.
It doesn't age well at all, but I think
No,
it is also a parody of the fashion world because I don't know if you guys remember. Do you guys remember America's Next Top Model?
I
Of
sure
course I
did.
do.
I
And I
sure
remember
do. You
they
remember
had
those
to do different
specific
races.
challenges?
I
Yep.
watched it just this year,
Yeah.
Gail. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clue me in. I don't know what's
So
going
basically, in this one challenge of America's Next Top Model, they were given different races to do a photo shoot. So there was a white girl playing like a Mexican girl, and then
Yep.
like a black girl.
on. Oh, what year was this season?
2000
let me-
something.
Early
baby.
2000s.
It's like
I'm
of
gonna
this
assume.
time. I can
Mid
figure it out for you.
2000s. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, early to mid 2000s. It wasn't cute, but
It
that's
was
immediately
probably-
what I thought of when watching this. That I was like, eek.
It was probably like cycle 3 or 4. It was earlier in the seasons, but yeah, did not carry well.
Yeah. But it's like speaks to that era for sure. Like it must have been
100%.
Would you say like early 2000s, like 2005?
absolutely. It's absolutely early 2000s. And
Tuning back in for things that are on there, but like we glossed over it because it's like right before the orgy thing, but they already talked about like how Matilda had bulimia and how like the guys were also like, oh yeah, we're bulimic too, blah 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 blah, and they just like acted like it wasn't
They played for
anything.
laughs.
They
like-
belittled her, yeah.
They did it for laughs, but it was also like we've been talking about, it was just commentary on the fact that like, hey, this is normal, and it was so fucked up because Matilda's supposed to be like the only person
She's like,
who's
that's
really normal."
traumatic, actually.
That's traumatic. Why are we doing this like this?
Yeah, it's sad that like even now it's still like that when it's like, who cares?
yeah.
Be you. You know?
I'm crying.
The quality of food is also very different now. Like it like transformed and morphed somewhere between the 70s and now. Within,
People
the
like
past
to
50
eat.
years. People like to eat back then, but it wasn't pumped full of really bad things too.
There's preservatives and everything. I just
Now,
eat.
yeah.
I'd eat out of necessity. That's it.
I eat when I feel like it.
I eat whatever I want whenever I want.
I love
food.
I love food.
I like
I
tasting
love food.
things. Yeah.
Listen,
love food.
we
It
were
makes
talking
me
about it
happy.
earlier. I love a good burger.
Anywho.
I love a bad burger.
I do not.
I don't like a bad burger when it makes my stomach hurt.
My stomach hurt.
Like sometimes
Anyway.
the Whopper does not hit right.
Sometimes,
But
well, I like
sometimes
the
it
Impossible
do.
Whopper.
But sometimes it do.
Sometimes the Whopper hits absolutely right, but sometimes it hits wrong.
And that's when you almost die.
No, it's just dry and just
That's when
maddening.
you almost shit all your insides out and die.
Been there.
Oh,
I have an iron stomach. I never have like, when I eat really bad food, I don't feel like I have any sort of like bodily issues, like intestinal.
Oh, so you've never
I
run to the
know.
bathroom clutching your booty hole trying not to
Your
explode?
booty-
Not
hole.
because of food. Not because
your
of
booty
food.
hole.
I feel like if I have a crap ton of soda, then I have a ton of crap.
What?
Like if I drink way too much soda, like a lot of soda. Like let's say,
I'm unpacking too much here.
So they're well, because you said the computer thing that they think the files are in the computer, like literally in the physical computer,
yeah, like they're gonna crack it open
Yes.
and there's the stuff.
and then they end up doing like the. I guess it's a reference. I've never seen it to 2001: Space Odyssey.
Right. Yeah.
I've
never
never
seen
seen
it.
it
It's-
either, but I do
You've
know
seen it,
the
though.
theme.
I have seen it. I don't remember this part, but
Is it a
structure.
fictional movie or is it like
It-
just like an exaggerated like storyline?
Baby, it's a Stanley Kubrick film.
So you don't know what the fuck is happening.
Mama,
All
that
right.
does not have a storyline at all. The only thing that I really
really wanna
remember
watch
It's
it.
just cute.
is Hal. Okay?
It's just cute to watch. It's fashion to watch.
Uh,
That's how The Shining is. Let me tell you, we're also getting off track here, but Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is so much different than Stephen King's novel The Shining. Stanley Kubrick was like, no, I'm gonna make it fashion.
I think I
And
can
Stephen
agree
King
with
was
that
like,
because
fuck you.
Stanley Kubrick's film,
Mhm.
I love that film to death. I've never read The Shining, but I love the film.
I've read the book, love the movie.
love the film.
I can understand they're two different things.
Yes. It happens sometimes. But anyway.
But anyway, so they do that.
They do that parallel. It's not tasteful at all. They have there's a bone in the office. It was Maury's office from earlier. We saw it, and they bang it on the computer. It is really too much. Derek realizes that he really has to get to this show. He's like, I've never been late for a show. I gotta go. And so Hansel is there trying to do the rest of the work, and then he, takes the computer with him later to the event. And we flash back to the actual runway event for Derelict, and we're here. The DJ's fucking spinning. There's like so many people around, and Derek is like getting ready to walk down the runway. We know that he's already been brainwashed, and as soon as he hears Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, he's gonna activate. The Prime Minister has been invited to this event, so he's sitting at the end of the runway ready to get his neck snapped. And it is just too much. And Derek pops out. He's wearing this like robe of garbage. It's like very, very shishi, but it's made of garbage. Like, let's be real. And he takes it off, and then he does his blue steel. And I don't think we explained this before. Blue steel is his signature look.
Well, he has three looks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Blue steel.
Le Tigre.
Le Tigre. And then what was the other one?
Ferrari, I think.
Ferrari.
Or something like that, yeah.
No, it is Ferrari.
Yeah.
It is Ferrari. I was like, is that for specifically the brand for Ferrari? I was very confused about that. But no, I guess it goes Blue Steel at the top, then Ferrari, and then Le Tigre are his three. And he's been perfecting Magnum.
A new look.
Keep that in mind.
Everyone's asked, can we see it? Oh, it's not ready. It's not ready.
Not able to preview. So he's there, blue stealing it down the runway to another 80s hit that I can't recall at the moment. But it mixes, or just, DJ music. It mixes into Relax. And then he activates. And then he starts doing all these karate moves down the runway.
Just like the Winter Soldier.
A whole fucking spectacle, TBH. I enjoyed that because I thought it was a little extra. And he's ready to fucking assassinate. But of course, his friend, his new bestie, Hansel, comes to save the day. And he's like, "Papa!" to the DJ, because the DJ is a bad guy too. And he turns off the music. And then suddenly, Derek turns back to his regular self, walking down the runway.
And that happens back and forth a couple times.
Like
Yeah.
4 times.
They're break dance fighting. Hansel.
Didn't you want to see that in Footloose? A dance battle?
Like a dance
Oh,
off?
Yes,
yeah,
I
we
did.
had
Yes, I
it.
did. Yes, I did. But yeah, they're break dance fighting, Hansel and the DJ, and it goes back and forth from Derek being activated to unactivated and back and forth, and then finally when he so close and you were like, that's too close for my comfort, he does the flip and he is about to break the prime minister's neck, and Hansel ends up turning off, unplugging the music.
The whole setup.
And they're gonna arrest Derek for trying to assassinate the prime minister. And that's when Hansel
saves the day.
Besties.
Is claiming that everything is, whatchamacallit? It's a plot by Mugatu. And then he's got the freaking computer with him, the whole computer. And he's like, the files are on here. And then tosses it on the ground like a monkey.
Like it was going to reveal anything.
because he thought they were in the computer, literally.
For a second, I thought that I saw a little sticky note pop out, but that was just my eyes being dumb.
Wishful thinking. Ballstein comes clean and he's like, nope, he's definitely a bad guy. I've been on this for however many years. Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, that's it. We're doing this. We're over. And then, meanwhile, Mugatu is like, I've had it. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Can't you guys tell that they're all the same? And he's talking about the faces, Blue Tigre, Ferrari, and
Blue
Steel,
Le
Le Tigre,
Tigre.
and Ferrari. My bad. I don't know what the fuck.
He's
I'm saying.
like, who cares about this man? Who
Who
gives a
cares
fuck about
it?
him?
The three. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. You have nothing. And then he hurls
A ninja star.
a fucking shuriken in the shape of
Shuriken,
an M.
I was gonna say shuriken.
He
Weebs.
fucking, ninja vanishes this fucking thing into the air.
And that's when Derek fucking breaks. He's like, one look.
I'll show you one look.
And that's when he
Flashes his penis.
That's the Magnum, guys.
There it is.
There it is.
There she blows.
But this is when he unveils Magnum. And it's so beautiful and so just amazing that it
Breathtaking,
stops.
haunting.
It stops the shuriken
Midair.
midair.
Just before touching his face.
And everyone's like, oh my god.
Even
Everybody's
Mugatu's like,
incredible.
it's beautiful.
Everybody's in awe. Fucking Mila Jovovich and Christine Taylor that were fighting on the runway also at the same time. We're just cheek to cheek. We're like, it's beautiful.
And even his dad, Derek's dad, that's watching in the coal mines in New Jersey on the TV, he's like, oh my god, that's my son. That's my kid.
Daddy. Anyway, he saves the prime minister.
So anyway, so he saves the prime minister. Wages go up in Malaysia, and he marries Matilda, has a kid, opens up his center for kids who can't read good.
And who want to learn to do other good stuff too.
Right.
Yes, Hansel's there. His best friend Hansel works there now.
But we like nicely wrap it up, and then as we see Matilda come by with the baby, they have a baby.
Derek Jr.
And he shows off his baby blue steel, and Derek's like, my guy.
My boy.
And that's how it ends.
All's well that ends well.
Da da da.
Thoughts? So, Antonelli.
Yeah, I could have went my entire life without watching it. I was so fine.
Whoa.
See, you made up your mind. I knew.
I knew.
We knew it. Me?
Yay. Kudos to you.
You got
Me-
some laughs, though. There was some
I
laughs.
did laugh whenever something like ridiculously. I don't know what the first one was, and I can't even remember it.
I know you laughed at Mila Jovovich for some reason.
I'm sure I fucking.
Because she said, no, she licked her lip after she got punched.
Oh,
And
she
Antonio
got punched,
was tickled.
and she like made like a very like sensual. She was turned on by being punched by the girl with the gun.
I did not laugh. I was like,
and I was like,
yeah, I was like, woof, woof,
woof.
oof,
Woof.
a doof.
She looks exactly like her character looks exactly like the type of person that would be into that. So it was just like, oh, there we go.
All right. Well, hot cast.
Podcast?
Mila Jovovich carries for hot cast.
Wow.
That's fair. The
I mean,
whole
Owen
entire
Wilson-
cast.
I
I will
mean,
say,
Owen
her
Wilson looks nice.
Mhm.
I really just don't like Ben Stiller that much. I just don't like the way he looks. I mean, I like him better in a fucking night guard uniform
yes.
than I do.
We love
You
a
love
man in uniform.
We love a man in uniform. You know, security guard and all. But like during this, I was like, whatever. Maybe it was the wig. Maybe
It was the hair.
The hair
Honestly,
is
not
it was
great.
The hair.
Yeah.
The hair really detracts.
The
It really
personality.
does.
I feel like he's been in other movies where his hair
Speaking
is
of fucking
less worse.
personality, so there was this tweet, and it kept so well to my heart. And honestly, I think about it every once in a while, and it's by @Binky Shapiro. Not to bag on male models, but I just met one at a party who didn't know what a caterpillar was, and I was like, huh. What a you know, I read that before ever watching this movie, and I was like, somehow that's exactly what this is.
Yep. That's funny.
My boner is so soft.
It truly
No
is.
boner
Hey,
alert.
Also for Hotcast, Billy Zane, we spent a long time talking about how hot Billy
Oh,
Zane
we
was.
did talk about Billy
No,
Zane.
no. Let's let Dahlia speak.
Oh, let me tell you,
Speak
Billy Zane popped up onto the TV screen. We all recognize his beautiful, beautiful face. He was bald in this film for some reason. I don't know what role he was probably in or if he had to shave his head for it, but he did not have hair. And those of you who may not know Billy Zane off the top of your head, he's the bad guy in Titanic, the one that's trying to like fuck Kate Winslet and marry her, whatever, and he's a fucking asshole. And he's just so hot. And he was also in Twin Peaks. But my God,
that out there.
Hims?
Oh, him?
Oh, Hims. He carried the whole movie for me, but also Mila Jovovich, like,
Oh
I
my
buy.
God. I think
buy.
he shaved his head sometime around this movie and it never grew back. Or he kept it shaved because all the pictures
I
of
think
him.
he kept it shaved.
you know what? It's a good look. I'm into it.
He's got a handsome face.
He
so
does have a nice
handsome.
face, but I did like his hair in Titanic.
He was hot in Titanic,
He
but
was
like
so
the,
hot.
He was so
the
hot.
just the personality in Titanic kind of
Well,
takes
yeah,
away from
it's-
that. But he's hot in Titanic too, though.
The material was necessary. But
hot cast.
yeah, because all of these like more recent photos of him, no hair.
Interesting. Soundtrack/score.
Let's hear from
Bangin'.
Antonio first.
Oh, the soundtrack's great. The soundtrack's great. I mean, it's a generic, like, you know, early 2000s, late 90s soundtrack. You know, every song that plays is, you know, decent. It's because it's from somewhere popular. And we still listen to some of these things now.
Does not top Wedding Singer for me, but is a close second so far for podcast episodes. This soundtrack was banging. The music was on point for this. It was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. Who
Yeah.
doesn't like Wham?
Who doesn't
Yeah.
love Wham?
Anyway, costume, design, set,
Mila,
location.
Mila.
Every
Carries,
makeup
carries,
look.
carries.
That's it. Period.
That's
Also,
it. We're done.
I loved Will Ferrell in a corset.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God,
that was fun.
right?
That was fun. That
I
was
loved
fun.
that. I
That
like
was a
that look. I
like
like
the
that look,
flowy
too.
long sleeve shirt with like the poofy and then the corset. That's a look, mama.
And he's so tall.
Yeah.
He's such a tall guy.
I also
Such a
feel
tall
like
guy.
when like him as Mugatu, like at the derelict fashion show, he also committed to that look too, because he was wearing a garbage bag as a necktie, like the zip, like the pulleys, like the strings from the
He
garbage
had
bags.
good looks.
It was good. He had really good looks. They were very like
He had
eclectic,
some
eccentric.
exactly.
They were very, very good.
Favorite quotes, everyone?
Oh boy,
Boy,
I have.
howdy.
I will go first because I wrote some down. So the first one that made me laugh was ugly protesters bothering beautiful people, which I thought was funny. And then of course that this was throughout the whole movie, but Mugatu being like, that Hansel is so hot right now.
That's mine. That's mine.
And then this was during Hansel's like video montage before the awards or whatever. He was talking about his life. He goes, I grip it and I rip it. And then when Derek goes back home when he's after he works in the coal mines, and he's like, I think I'm getting the black lung pop. That's my absolute favorite.
Are
I
you
say
gonna
that
use that one day to call out a word?
I say that in my head all the time, and I will probably use that for work.
It's so great, and of course we cannot ignore the one of the most quoted ones, which is, "What is this? A center for ants?" Which Antonio has noted that he has seen before. So obviously, it's very, very popular.
That one's very popular, but aside from like knowing that one and so hot right now, I can't remember anything else.
I wrote this because it made you laugh, and I think it really ties into everything we've been saying. But it's the David Duchovny, and he's like, "Because I'm a hand model, mama."
We do be saying mama a lot.
Those were all my quotes that I wrote down. I loved them.
So we know obviously how Antonio feels about this film and whether it's worth any hype or worth a watch. But I'm curious what you guys think as rewatchers of this film.
I have the most positive thing to say, so anybody else who has any negative feedback, go first.
Okay, so I'm so confused. Literally, it just says orange mocha frappuccino like once and one scene. How did that get so popular?
Like most
Like
big quotes.
I know.
What the way that they said it is so endearing.
Orange mocha
Orange mocha
frappuccino.
frappuccinos.
That's how big quotes. That's how. Fucking yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, was said like fucking once or twice. And
Once,
that's the
just
one.
once.
Honestly,
Once.
I still don't get that one either.
Well, actually, it
No.
was twice. You're right. Hans and
But it wasn't
Jonathan.
even that cool.
No, it wasn't. So like, I don't know
Who-
why people hassled the Starbucks
me.
baristas
Tell
for
me.
it.
Tell me, do you remember You Go Glen Coco? For You Glen
That was
Coco?
said once, buddy.
Once. Just because of the way somebody said it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
delivery.
just-
Well, I think the better delivery for that one, for Mean Girls, is she doesn't even go here, or and none for Gretchen Wiener.
But it's
Same
still
shit.
A
It's
delivery
the
thing.
same
I just honestly
is
didn't
delivery.
get it. For like to go hassle people for it.
I think it's worth the watch, especially because, like I said, it's a parody on model culture, and I think that model culture was so big in the early 2000s. I think it's like essentially a part of history at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Ketzel?
So I had only watched this twice, I believe. It definitely didn't hit the same way as when I had watched it the first two times.
Because
But because I've grown, I feel. But I would like. This is a movie that like if like we didn't have something to watch that I feel like, oh, this is a crowd pleaser. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll
Yeah.
put this on.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I stand. I feel like I'm not hot or cold on this movie, as hot as I was when I watched it the first time, which was years ago. I haven't seen this in years, at least 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Same for me too.
Yeah.
Oh. So an entire presidency lasted before you saw this again. Yikes.
Yeah. That's haunting, but yes. But Dahlia?
Man, this movie tickled my funny bone. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved so much about it.
Man.
the not so tastefulness of the politically incorrect, and also just not stuff that just does not stand in 2021, man. Like, but I enjoyed it overall for its time, and also for just how clever I think it was at times. There were so many comedians in this movie. I don't think that got enough credit, for sure. It was like so star-studded, and I think that the way that Ben Stiller played Zoolander was so, I don't know. You know that you don't want to hang out with this guy because he's just so dumb. But like the shit that he does, you're just like, all right. You're like, I'm not going to hang with you, but I enjoy being with you in orbiting circles from time to time. I don't think that I can't really remember. I know I enjoyed Zoolander too, because I think it was also very star-studded and very like up there. It's when they're like older models. And I enjoyed that a lot more. I think it still it definitely tickled that funny bone, but I think it still had some pieces of political incorrectness that don't stand today. Other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. There was a lot of good things about it. And just how many callbacks to Twin Peaks characters. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
She loves her Twin Peaks, everyone.
But I would recommend this movie. You should at least watch it once, but I would recommend this movie to anybody.
I also agree with that. I think it's one of the, when I think of like essential comedies, this is definitely one I think of.
I think that's what it is. I think that it is an essential comedy, and I believe that. I just think comedy ain't for me.
And that's fair. That's like sci-fi for me. It just doesn't hit for me sometimes. Like there are certain movies. Movies.
Like Fifth Element is your sci-fi movie that you like. Mila Jovovich, love
I don't
you.
get fantasy sometimes.
See, like there's always gonna be.
But is there a fantasy movie that you're like, oh, I love this?
Harry Potter.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
That's two.
Or like action movies for me, but like I love Marvel movies. I don't know what to say.
Well, I would consider those comic book movies.
But
I still think it's action.
It's action.
I like we're on the same page, and they're like,
Oh,
that's
man.
still action. I'm just like, what?
That's the gimmick. It's
But
comic
but
books.
It's a
that's
superhero
different. But
movie.
a Marvel movie compared to like a Mission
Die Hard?
Impossible movie or a Die Hard movie is completely different.
Do
you agree?
I feel like that's where I'm making my distinction when I think
Yeah,
action
okay.
movies.
Thank you for
And
that
I only
point.
watch action
You're
movies when
welcome,
there's a
because
gimmick.
I fucking love Mission Impossible.
I know.
And I actually am gonna watch all of the James Bond movies and all the Die Hard movies because I really enjoyed Die Hard.
I love Die Hard. I just watched it again last night. I know this came after
But-
Die Hard.
But yeah, so we all have that genre that we
Don't touch.
isn't for us, but
not
we
for
do
us.
dabble.
We don't.
And I feel like that's comedy for you for sure.
100%.
Oh my
Like
god.
if I have to sit through every essential comedy movie for this podcast, it will be for this podcast and this podcast only.
You're so
You
brave.
know, it's funny. You don't have a lot of comedies on there. This was the one I saw, and I was like, "Oh,
Put more.
yeah, we're doing this."
Ugh. I can't think of any others that are like essential.
Well, we'll just have to wait until then, right?
You, me, and Dupree?
Wink wonk.
That's too many references to that movie than I think it deserves.
Fair, fair.
You want and Dupla.
All right.
Not Dupla.
Okay.
But not Mark Duplass. I love him.
Okay.
Not Mark Dupla. He's scary.
Stop it now.
Not
Venom,
sharing
he's
this
scary.
family.
Wait, does Peachfuzz have a song? He has a song. doesn't
He does have a
Stop
song.
this conversation.
Never.
Never.
No.
I think I'm just funnier than all comedies.
That's
definitely
so
not true, my
bold.
friend.
That's so brave of you to say.
Hey, I just want you to know you are so brave. Dolly, you look like you're in pain.
All right.
Anyway, that concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. We'll catch you guys next time.
Oh, bye, losers. I am too cool for school.